Welcome back, everyone, as Crew are just one map win away from the impossible, qualifying for champions and winning 5 games in a row. What kind of magic? What kind of wizardry? What kind of god did they pray to get to this point? Who knows? But yeah, I like that. The Wrecking Crew in full effect here as Klaus is
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Actually, yeah, if it's working for Klaus, I'm gonna do it too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is insane for Crew right now. Remember, this team 0-10 to start their year. Their first win was at LCQ. And they have not lost a series since. And now they're just a map away from making it to champions. It's unbelievable, especially, Vaughn, considering the fashion in which they won here on Ascent. It was dominant against a map that used to be one of Leviatán's best.
Yeah, it was one of Leviatán's best. And I was hopeful that with some time off playing the map, banning it, they would have at least something up their sleeve. But really, they looked the same. I saw a lot of the same set plays, a little bit of difference, but the mid-rounding wasn't there like how we saw in Pearl. And I think they kind of fell flat. Crew definitely took the lead there. And going into map for Lotus, it's going to be a banger because this is still one of Leviatán's better maps. But last time Crew got the better of them. Do you think it's going to be the same this time around, G?
It could very well be, right? I mean, you know, history does have a tendency to repeat itself here. And just like history, well, Kesnet dominates again, right? He does the thing that what we've always appreciated about him is just his high impact player attitude that he brings to the server, shutting down Taco, who again has also been having, Sean, you know, a decent series in his own right here. But Kesnet, man, just continues to do it.
Yeah, he is really feeling it in the server on these opening duels. I mean, together, Kesnet and Klaus combined for 9-1 in opening duels in this map. Like, that is an insane statistic to have for your 1 and 2 entering the sites.
He's him.
Man,
I'm just going to say this blatantly. That is such a Curtis Russ headline there.
He's him, yeah. This is the main character.
Yeah.
I said earlier, this is his arc.
And the thing is, he's always been good for Crew. But this is the tournament where his team is actually stepping up with him. And I think particularly the way that they're playing, the super default heavy, 1-3-1-ing every single round really works for Kesnet because they're just constantly setting him up to work this map control, find that opening pick, and it gives so much freedom for Melzer to call around that it's such, I think, a beneficial way to play for both the star Kesnet and for the IGL.
Yeah, and talking for the IGL, it is very nice when you have an entry who's just walking up mid and getting these entries. I saw Kesnet walk up into market and get a double kill.
And how many rounds? It was ridiculous.
Many rounds did he do that? So as an IGL, when you get all that space, when you get the entry, it just makes your life so easy to push-pull having a player like this. He's so impactful with his kills, so impactful on the strategic side. Just someone like this is a gift to have on your team.
Wait. We've just been singing about Jet the last couple of maps. The maps to close out this series, he's going back to Raze.
Yeah.
This is like his home turf at this point.
If I recall correctly, I believe it was you who kept saying, it was like, you know, they got to try and stop him on these Raze maps. They got to try and like plug them here. And it feels as if now this Crew team is unhinged. Like they could do no wrong at this point, Mimi. And it's actually quite scary when you think about it. How does Leviatán stop this momentum that Crew have been able to gain up, especially on Lotus, when they've already faced him on this map before and saw the L in that column?
Yeah, Crew has been looking solid on Lotus thus far. Both these teams play a similar comp, the double controller with the Raze. The only difference is between the Sky versus the Fade, either having that proactive information in the mid-round with the Sky to clear things out with those flashes, or with that Fade, having those dogs that accomplish a similar thing, just in a bit of a different way. But Crew right now, I think I really do favor them coming into this 4th map. But the thing is, every time we've counted Leviatán out in the past, they are always able to make something happen. We saw it yesterday, a reverse sweep to make it to the finals. And don't get me wrong, Lotus is a map where Leviatán has struggled on in the past, but I think with this current composition, since they brought in the second controller and kind of got with the times, they have looked better here, except there is that Crew loss that was just earlier in this tournament that kind of pulls us back down to earth.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a close loss either. It was a 13-7 stomp in that Lotus game, and that was a map Leviatán picked in that series. So I'm sure they were shocked at how Crew approached that map. There's a lot of mound control, which bled into front B control, which bled into A control. They had full map control on several key gun rounds, and they were willing to pick into the C site aggressively to make the Killjoy pop nanos, to make the Viper use toxins. And they were just putting so much gun pressure on the C site throughout the entire half.
Yeah, and after putting that pressure onto C, we often see a lot of times crew fall back because they like to insert a player into front B.
Yeah.
So it allows for them to put all that C pressure and still have the safety to pivot back into A if their Viper gets a deep lurk option. It's very balanced for crew. While, yes, they are putting a lot of pressure onto C early, they love to pivot back into B. They have the Sky comp, which just allows you to put so much pressure up B with the Trailblazer, and re-clearing Mound at A is also very easy for them.
This series, I think Leviathan's attack sides have oftentimes been way too slow, especially on Pearl. They put a big emphasis on these 1-3-1s, on defaulting, but the late round executes is where they've been punished. They need to put an emphasis on pulling out this utility, especially from players like Kesnet and Nags early, to stunt these retakes that Crew's been excellent at.
Well, let's find out if this series ends here and now, or can Leviathan force a Game 5? Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow for the call.
Yeah, will we go to distance, or is this where it ends right now? I mean, for Crew, they would love to close it out, man. And a perfect finish, really, for them, almost perfect. I mean, 3-0 would have been probably slightly better, I think, for the Miracle Run, the fairy tale that they've been weaving
at this point.
At this point, no. Setting the sights towards Lotus and seeing if they can close it out cleanly. But for Lev as well, a chance to battle back if they can really do so.
Definitely one of the maps that Leviathan will have been looking at to retool their approach and come up with counter ideas, because they recently played it against each other, as Valen and Sean were just talking about. So we got to see something a little different. We saw glimpses of differences from Leviathan on Ascent, but now their backs are up against the wall. This is where we've seen some of the best from Lev. They've gone on a resurgence right when they were needed most, when the enemy was at the gates. They found a way to reply. But it looks like our pistol round is going to begin with an enormous clash towards Rubble. And the team that ends up winning these has such an advantage in the mental game, the map control game heading later.
An absolute brawl and skirmish that's going to be taking place. The Horn is taken care of, but they still are not backing away from it. They want to fight behind the wall, close to the corners. Util to clear them out. Snake bite. No easy task to withstand all of that, but just a 1-for-1, and everybody backs away. Let's pretend it didn't happen.
They're wondering if King is going to take something aggressive on the other side of the map. He's normally pretty active when he's on his own like this. And now that Crew realize he's not walking into B, they're trying to re-swarm on them.
No util being used, just straight up taking the fights, but leading the match, honestly. Shy. Sheriff in his hands. Short work. Chewing them up. 3 versus 2 now, and Crew are the ones who are left really scrambling. And on a bit of a gamble, wondering where they might land.
The 2 Killjoy players are going to be players to watch here on Lotus. Davies has been so excellent since committing to the Sentinel instead of being a flex for the team. And Shy, with Sheriff in hand, can occasionally just pull magic out of nowhere. A ping on the door there. Surely they don't want to open this and go towards C, just being cautious of it, perhaps?
Yeah, waiting. But still making no noise. Grouped up as 3, they can take the better trades.
30 seconds
That
left.
space, and there's a deep flank on deep flanks. They hear it.
Is Shy's turret still active?
Spike
Should be
planted.
from this range.
Yeah, there it is.
It's going to spot him. And Naxet and Davies have gone round the world here. And they've given away at least one of their positionings. Now, for Leviathan, you can't be confident they're both here. So King and Taco still have to look the other ways. It's down to Shy.
Shy, though. Beautiful damage. Definitely chunking them down, and it gives his team the information. 1v2 for Davies. You can play this one time on your side if you are Leviathan. Davies, half on the defuse, but already creeping closer to defeat. There's King. Right over the shoulder. Pistol round win for Lev.
Major for them. And also, in terms of that fight over towards Rubble, I mean, Mazzino was hiding inside the Viper wall to dodge the guiding light that came through and then ended up TPing away. Both teams just desperate to fight tooth and nail for this area of the map. And often, whoever wins, whichever team gets the dominance in that kind of area and ends up winning these duels, which we're going to see one again.
Nade to the side, got to use the TP to evacuate and get out of there. Spike dropped to the floor.
So at the moment, it's kind of Leviathan having to give up that space, right? They're giving credit to Crew, a bit of respect to Crew, and allowing them to own that area. That can sometimes condition Lev into playing passively or focusing on Mound in the future rounds.
It's going to be the impetus to hit the site, though, as soon as Davies pushed away. Just being farmed, really trying to min-max this one, but it's going to be an attempt to try and refight. Smoke drops off. as well. Cuts away one of the long-term angles. Mazzino close to the corner. Doesn't have the gun, but a jump shy. That is beautiful with the transfer.
Spike planted.
And that's such an incredible player to be in position to help Mazzino, because now Shy's got up to his lockdown. They're going to have this to be able to come into a bonus round with. And for Lev, they couldn't ask for anything better. Shy going nutty on the pistol and then also farming orbs and getting a couple of kills there towards the end. Put a rifle in his hand, he's creating magic, and he's got an ultimate that you can definitely build a game plan around here.
It's a massive one, and look at that. Excellency.
That's what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
And I have been impressed with Leviatán, how they're able to bounce back from getting outclassed in some of these maps. You know, opening, they go down 13-5, Ascent, they lose 13-6, and yet they're still bringing it afterwards.
Satchels avoiding all of that util over the top, though. There's a TP, and they seem none the wiser. Melter is there, ready and waiting, still kills to be found, and there's the paranoia. Let loose, let rip. Is there the follow-up there? Yes, there is. Finally, help from his teammate. Skutsnet is happy to oblige. Shy is so out in the open. Now, lockdown of the year prior, no chance in hell he's going to be able to use it. Oh, he's watching from the spectator seat.
And when crew are dominating Rubble, this is going to change the way that Lev have to approach things. I mean, they don't even get the chance to use the lockdown here. Their opportunity to build some kind of round that focuses around that ultimate that they got online so early, torn away from them. No chance. They're going to have to start respecting that crew have good ideas on Rubble control.
They're seeking to re-clear this one. It's going to be hard for them. Snakebite. Does it land towards the back? Does Melter get tagged? But he does. Has to drop down. Back to the corner. There's one. Isolating the fights out. Davies. Okay. Cleans it up towards the end, but not without the difficulties and casualties. Only 2 players surviving for crew.
This is really going to put a different feel to things. I can't believe nobody checks for Melter here. This is like one of the most common plays to go for as a defending Omen, is teleporting up top. And in the chaos of all of the other utility being thrown, having to dodge, you know, nade and potentially seizes or haunts, along with other utility that's been thrown in. Apologies. Having to dodge the nade combined with the flashes.
It's a difficult one. This time, yeah, LEV are going to be granting full respect over towards that Rubble control. They do not want to mess with Kesnet when he's earned that showstopper. Full control, but look how fast he is on the rotation. He's already through the spawn.
Mazzino has just walked in.
I believe it spotted him. Yeah, Nagsets aware. He knows the cross was there, yet still the fight gets one out. And the lockdown should push them all the way back. What a flick. Beautiful with the reactions once more. Davies does respond, bringing him down. Nice trade, but he's going to be detained. Needs some help. Players hot on his heels, seeking to try and bring him down, though. They give up the space. They realize it. Too risky to try and approach it. At least they are granted the plant. Seekers from Klaus. Usually commit this one. That's close to the corner. King is caught out near-sighted, but he does have the back of the rest of his team. Snakebite's there. Shy doing a wonderful job of trying to stop them out towards Waterfall. They take the fights together, grouped up.
I like the call from Leviatán, making sure that they can use the lockdown in this spot and not over-committing to a fight towards a Rubble. Like I said, I really feel like crew have dominated that area of the map to the point where Lev have to start showing respect. It's hard to criticize Mazzino for going for the play where he just walks into C. I do think it was way too high risk, high reward, but he gets the reward side of it. Bren, you noted that Nagsat knew he was there, and yet he just delivers 2 kills. He already had a lockdown. I mean, they already know that they're getting the site,
yeah,
and he just walks in completely alone, is like, don't worry, I'll take this round.
I'll go for it. There's never attempt to things. It's the half by crew once more.
It feels like they're trying to funnel Leviatán into going for C hits. And if that's the case, crew need an answer for how they're going to deal with the C hit. Sometimes that's going to be teams with an Odin. Sometimes that's going to be stacking all of your Killjoy and Viper utility over there. Or trap plays. But at the moment, I feel like crew have successfully conditioned, despite looking like they're about to go 1-4 down, Lev to start the map towards the left instead of towards Rubble. The question is, how do they actually turn that into round wins?
No way. Melter, what is this? Cut to the corner.
Cover going out.
Slight pocket to work with, but no. No one going to be walking towards him. Now, does that smoke cover
Naxet
anything?
has a shorty, Brent.
Yeah, into the back.
Hiding behind the box.
And we saw him got 2 earlier. Can he do any more? It's contacting. No way. How do you get out of that spammable location? Davies, where do you prioritize your shots into the horn? It has to be done. Naxet, though, will be dealt with. Whiteface giving him that space as well. Showstopper around the back. First time I haven't seen a kill light up in the feed there from Kesnet. Pushing through into the smoke, but that is watched for. Shy. Got the discipline there. He knows exactly what his role is. Winning even the fade ult with the Nightfall. No more noise cues. Spam enough, though, denying the plant. Isn't not really knowing where this is going off. Can't hear any of this. Just sees the shots going wide. Resetting it, making it dangerous and expensive. But it is 4-1 still. Lev running away with these rounds now.
They certainly are, but its rifle's going to be back online for Crew, and this is their opportunity to respond. They drew out the Nightfall in the prior round by virtue of Kesnet using his own showstopper. So ultimate situation fairly even. Bit of an advantage, I would say, to Crew potentially, the fact that they have the lockdown. Are we really going to see another fight happening over here towards Rubble? Neither team wanting to give up on it at all.
Not willing to be disrespected, but might get difficult. Just a paranoia. Sidestepped and avoided. Waiting it out. Here's the horn. There's layers to it with the util. Sent flying. You can see it. Snakebite, Nana Swarm. Hopped up. That is a nasty shot by Melzer.
Completely catches Taco in transition. A more diligent approach in terms of clearing this area from Lev.
Placing swarm grenade out.
So they've got a little more map control, but they've paid for it with a life. And that life is their entry player. Zeno far forwards, not worried about stairs at all. Slinks towards the breakable door. As the tree door is open too, these A players have got to stay towards that site. But people are contacting into B.
Yeah, and what are they trying to feign, though? The spike is in middle of nowhere. Mazzino has the ult, so picks that one up. Once they claim the B side, cancels it. Picked it all the way up, but again, once we're getting caught out, there's 2 players watching for him. This player advantage creeping further and further away.
And they haven't even gone for the plant.
No, not yet. They want to try and force a fight as well. They can't. They don't feel comfortable to try and get the plant down as util out in the hands of these players, but you're be getting away with too much else, are you? Shy and King facing a match, trying to find those openings, facing it all together. Spike dropped out. Out of range of them. King retrieved this one, but there's really no time. I mean, 17 seconds left. They know exactly where he is with the flash. That indicator. Snakebite down. Libya, any form of chase. Now there is, yeah, pushing forwards and past. Still, the plan online. King close to the corner, has the pin, no time to unlock it, and there it is. Wide by Melzer, sacrificing his life, but for the greater good.
Some of these Leviatán rounds are mystifyingly overcooked. And that's an example. I feel like we saw another example of it on Ascent where they tried to run that incredibly elaborate fake attempt. But this time, they have A control. They're in a 4v5, sure. But for whatever reason, they don't bring the spike. They have Noswell lurking through when they're committing to B. Just the players are not in the right place to actually execute the plan that they're looking for. It's a bit of a head scratcher, but Leviatán is still in the lead. Crew are committing bodies to controlling Rubble again. And Lev this time not really wanting too much to deal with it.
No switch-ups. A nade being thrown into it. Diligence by Lev. They're going to making sure to clear out, take control of B main. Satchel out. Satchel. Does that take out the alarm bot?
I think it should.
Yeah, it does. Breaks it. But meanwhile, there's this deep push. Flash is dodged. King have to reset the aim. It does well to get the one, but traded.
That's a pretty big advantage, I would say, for the defenders, actually. Having that Viper all down. It's pretty massive. Puts a premium on Mazzino's smokes, of which he's already used one, and is about to get the other back in 25 seconds, so difficult for them. Melzer is now posted up towards A2 and can tell the rest of his team to go and stack towards C and towards B. The question being, do they want to play a retake? They have great ults for retake here, Crew. But sometimes you don't want to give them the space.
Lev are just happy to just contact in and try and take this fight together with them. Choosing to use their own lockdown. Really getting bogged down. Now it's being used. That's deep onto the side. Lockdown for a lockdown. Really clearing them out. Nade sails through all the way to the back. It's damage exchange. And kills are flooding on either way. Either direction. 2 versus 2 now. 25 seconds left. The plant has to start coming online. Attack Leah will Commit to the stick. An extension into the round. Bit of a breather. Playing together, both of these teams not willing to give up an inch. No more util left standing. Do they anticipate this? It's spotted. Tackle here.
And it's not planted for them.
No reaction in time to try and watch that. And as soon as they realize this, yeah, of course you're going to try and stick it. Nagset, he knows he can just stick it. It's not spammable. Doesn't have the rifle for it. No high-pen weapon. Mel's just watches for it. The re-push.
What a crumble on the fly from Leviatán. That's 2 rounds in a row now where the calls just haven't made sense, I don't think. The prior one, much more of a macro, but that one on the fly, the 2 players, they'd already naded and cleared out Waterfall. That was the area where a lot of the players were retaking from, and the lockdown was coming from there. They naded it, they cleared it out. That's this play that you're watching right now. And so they don't have to worry about that too much, and instead decide to push into that area to play the post plant from there when it's not planted for them. Players potentially getting stressed here with their backs up against the walls. We have in the past seen that bring out the best from LEV, but it looks like they're losing their grip on what was a great start to Lotus.
Once more giving up control. Everybody walking over towards the seaside. It's a nade there. Takalia, vulnerable Duck, has the showstopper. He's so damn low. Nanoswarm at his feet. Almost bringing him down there. The repositions of Davies. And that's it. We're already doing this, man. The Nanoswarm set down prior to actually earned the first kill. And now the door opens up. Crew eager to draw some more blood, eager to take another fight. There's nothing to cut this one up. They flip the side up entirely, taken towards the back section of it. And repositioning once more to Waterfall. Again, not planning for them there.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to just see exactly the same kind of situation occur. It's on Mazzino.
Yeah,
he's got to go huge.
He gets stunned up. Now here it is. Rocket online. Kesnit skips across the angle. Noswa, no world in which he's able to get that 1 kill found for him. But how do you win this one? You just can't. Again, planted close, cut to the corner. It's just a repeat. And 4-4, that's where we draw it.
Same situation occurring again. And one of the things that I didn't mention prior, which is important in those kind of spots, is that LEV are not getting good plant positions down. Right? They managed to get into the site. It's amazing work by Nagsec, but then there isn't anybody else on the site, and they still don't feel comfortable planting in an open spot. Partly because that door between B and C is being opened. They don't want to plant for Mound because that's where they're coming from. That's where the retakers are flanking them from. LEV are being forced to play at Crew's pace right now, and it's setting Crew up for these really nice retakes where LEV have no good post-plant positioning.
Double satchel, leading it in, Judge in his hands, but fully blinded up, Boombots there! And there's certainly damage done, but Davies, what a response, man! Just ridiculous! Following it perfectly. The lines coming through, the smokes, the traces, pinpoint accuracy.
Davies, one of those players that's just been so much better at LCQ than he was in the regular season. He came into this team, a newer addition, without the experience of the other people on the team. And he was playing all sorts of different roles. He was playing everything. He was a fill guy, the glue guy during the season, but it meant his individual performance suffered as a result of it. Here at LCQ, he's mostly focused on being a Sentinel player, on the chamber, sometimes playing aggressively. On Killjoy, he's able to still take fights. And it's just refined his game so much.
Focusing down the rolls, yeah. Does bring out the best in people, but you're really seeing that across the board of Crew.
30
like
seconds
Klaus,
left.
And Nagset as well. Across the board. I mean, Melza's calling. I mean, goes without saying about Kesnit. Just his fragging capabilities, his killing prowess. The whole team coming alive. And this is the final hurdle here. Potentially,
10 seconds
last
left.
map, really, that they have to face before earning that chance, that qualifier spot into champs. And wouldn't that be just absurd? Even to say it out loud, we've been witness to Crew multiple maps in a row, multiple games in a row of just them going on a tear, wondering, okay, well, makes for a nice storyline, but when does it stop? It just hasn't.
The train keeps going.
That is nasty. Nasty.
And this Crew train is just running down teams in front of it.
Oh, yeah.
They have taken so many teams out of this tournament where you felt like they had a chance of being able to win it. You know, a lot of people had Cloud9 as the favorites to be able to go on a ridiculous run. And then, you know, Leviatán, a lot of people thinking they might be able to get up to their former glory. And Crew are giving them a bit of a beating here on 2 out of the 4 maps that we've seen. This one still looking a little close, but Crew in control for the moment.
For the moment. It has been quite lopsided in terms of these rounds.
It looks like they're going to repush this. I mean, Davies baiting like he's the only player there holding passively. And instead, Kesnet and Klaus want to refight B main. And they're getting such great info right now.
Shadows traveling.
This decision aiming to break some of this utility. There it is. The repush catching them. And you talked about it just a bit prior, Josh. I mean, it's Crew that are playing at such a pace, they're forcing Lev to react.
Yeah.
Taking these moments into their own hands. That refight out in towards B main. They weren't ready for it.
No, and that's the kind of thing that when the sides are flipped, you'll see the Crew players deal with those moments really well.
Zeno looking up. This time, Nagzit knows. He's got a sight set onto it. Even the snakebite on top. Fully aware with the turret taking that contact. There's at least one more player just sitting outside that position, forcing a rotation from Davies. But at this point, 3 players left standing. Can King get onto the side and get the pit off? It looks so damn unlikely.
And one of the key parts to all of this is that Crew have been winning rubble control. And so Melzer is left alone to control A, and they can commit 2 to C, 2 to B. If the attacking team cannot push those players away from being deep on A, you're just left with so little of the map to play with. It turns Lotus into a 2 spike site map.
Yeah. Completely isolates it. And Crew are hunting for the guns. They want them out of the hands of these Lev players. Crossfire setup. They're a little bit harder to chew through than maybe they anticipated. So staving off away some of that damage there. A little bit of excitement towards the end of it. Still, has to be the timeout for Lev because they have just been getting rolled. I mean, that's what, 5 rounds in a row. Last 2 being lost down to time by just running out of options.
Yeah, they've been getting annihilated. And at this point, think about things from the perspective of the Leviatán guys. You realize that the series is slipping away from you. You're desperately trying to come up with answers, but you can only focus on what's been going wrong. You can't take a rubble control. Crew are better than you at that. And when you tried to go towards C, you've had 2 post plants that went horribly wrong. You planted in a tucked, safe position, and you had no space, no ability to play the posts. So one of those things has got to be fixed. Unless you're just going to hammer B hits home over and over again for the rest of the map for another 2 rounds. You've got to fix something else. Can you stop Melzer from getting over on top of rubble? Can you maybe push him off that spot later with the Trailblazer and a Snakebite Nanoswarm lineup, something like that? Are you able to see exec and actually take CT or plant for Mound? These are the things that Lev need to try to do, and Crew right now have got him in a chokehold. Every move they make, Crew have got the answer. And a lot of it is that proactivity in the mid-round.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on that proactivity, even the little, bits and pieces from Leviatán, they try and poke towards B, try and break some of the util. I don't know if you noticed in that last round, they pulled back the alarm bot so it didn't get broken by the satchel.
Yeah.
And then replanted it again in the middle of the round.
Which halves the amount of time that it's going to be down for.
So it doesn't get destroyed, got it earned back, but here we go. This time choosing to just disrespect, seeing if they can take the fight towards it. Satchel plays again across Horn. It is there, Paranoia on top. Do they really seek to try and take the battle? Yes, they do, a Nightfall. This time, it's going to be used to supplement it. Attempt to try and take the fight and the push, this time being won out by them. Yet, Davies once more there. This time, not able to get lucky by tracking down the traces through the wall. He's brought down and leaves it to Nagzit.
Finally, they break through and push into A and take this control.
Spike planted.
Now, with the orb and with the plant, Shy and Taco are getting their ults online. So this is now going to be helpful for the next. Unless Nagzik poses a bit of a problem, but surely not. Yeah, Shy's got him in the back.
Good by Shy.
And Lev now have a real chance at tying this up at 6-6, coming out of Owner's timeout.
In the half.
I said they had to fix something. They either need to be able to go into control rubble or have C post plants work for them. And this time, they make sure that Melzer has not gone for an aggressive teleport. And hold, anti-flash, use the Nightfall, push all of those players away.
The Nightfall is a great difference maker, isn't it?
And in the next round, they have Lockdown, they have Showstopper, Pit for post plan. Many different tools here for Leviatán to pull round 12 out and send us into the next half even.
Well, there we go. Takalea off the rip, off the jump, and a rocket, it lands true. Claims the target, nade rebounded, nobody can choose to fight him. He stands his ground down, Plant is fast, off the rip. They're gonna try and flood right back into this, no denial of it. Util being used and a snake bite's there. Still, it is chaotic. And it's scrappy all over the place still. With the pit laid down, it's a massive advantage now for Lev. There's really no breathing room in this. The shorty shot's going wild. King, no kills claimed.
You should run.
Has to back away and leave this one. And finally a bit of a breather. Enough for this lockdown to be just planted. Lord knows where. Maybe out into the open. King falls.
What a kill.
That is a massive one. No more pit now to push it back, but time is running short. You can see it. I mean, you're hearing it. It's ticking away with how fast this spike was planted. Time is just out of their hands. Gets it. Lucky with it, but still doubled up, double face. There has to be somebody sticking it. They know it. They force them out in the open. Sightlines are Lev, happy to clean it up, so 6-6 evened up on that.
Timeout, comeback, owner finding value against the team that he coached in the past. That's what you get from those coach input moments. I mean, they just changed the entire way that they were playing. Way more quick, way more aggressive, barreling through rubble control in the first round that we saw, round 11. And this one, showstopper off the rip. Tearing away the map.
What a pace change.
And tying the half up at 6-6. Anybody's game from here, I feel.
Oh, yeah. The pistol round going to be so damn important as well, but and what we've seen so far really could just go either direction. Good stuff so far from a multitude of players. Send it down to GB and a desk to break it all down.
Thank you so much to Brennan Sideshow. And 6-6, I couldn't think of a better way for this match to go. And you know what? I think we were expecting this Lotus game to potentially be a bit of a runaway here for Crew, given how well they played last time. But VALORANT, it really feels like, you know, Leviatán, they're answering to the way Crew's adapting, and Crew adapting great as well. Both teams reading each other excellently.
Yeah, I want to speak more on the Crew adaptation, because Leviatán at the beginning was getting in a lot of bomb sites for free. They were kind of walking up, being able to save a lot of their post-plant utility for towards the end of the post plant rather than entering the site. And what Crew did to adapt to that was, yo, don't let them get into the site. They were fighting forward a lot more, contesting the entry rather than letting it go into the post plant, and they found much more success, which is a reason why it came so close, and now we're tied up at 6-6.
The thing is, though, that's on the defensive side that they get that 6-6, and for Crew, that is massive. Lotus is quite an attack-sided map, and Crew in particular is excellent on this side. In this half, we can really expect them to likely slow down this place. They're really good at giving away these extremities, late re-clearing, and then providing so much disinformation in the mid-round. They love tapping these doors, rotating back through mid to a different site. So Leviatán are going to have to be on point with re-clearing space in the mid-round if they want to come back.
Yeah, and talking about re-clearing space, they have Fade, not Sky. So towards the early round of the game, you're going to have the Haunt to be able to re-clear the Viper Lurk, use Prowlers to pressure the Viper Lurk, but until you don't have those Sky Flashes to give you the information in the mid-round, you definitely need to be more proactive, take double peeks, take double pushes, and try to close the space.
And they need to. If Leviatán cannot come back here, their year is over, and Crew will go from 0-10 to a champ spot.
And that's right. And by the way, want to remind everyone that don't go anywhere, because after we crown our LCQ winner, we are going to have our Champions LA group draw show right here, so you don't want to miss it. But for now, we're going to send it back over to Brendan Sideshow.
And yeah, anyone's game. I mean, setting it all up, the grand goal on the line, of course, of that champs qualification, that spot that's going to be happening, you know, the tournament, really the culmination of the entire year.
And Crew looking to join Zeta, Giants, Na'Vi, the teams that have already made it out from LCQ.
Toxins going up.
Lev trying to control rubble in a similar way we saw from Crew in the first half. They have Mazzino posted up there fairly deep, and now they're going to start rotating other people away.
Yeah, almost a rinse repeat, isn't it, of what we were just seeing prior. Door opened wide. Fakes like they could be rotating into B main. Spotting it out.
I feel like I missed something early on in this round, but Klaus, you know, he doesn't have a Trailblazer. He doesn't have flashes to be able to use. Must have used the Trailblazer really early on, I feel. Was he just bought heal and pistol?
Or just opted for a ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he must have done. That's unusual for the attack side. I mean, Trailblazer is just such a massive tool, but they've got a specific round in mind, maybe.
But a flash is back online. Regen contacting again through. There's no util to meet them on the other side, but a wall makes them second guess themselves. Down to 40 seconds in this one. There will be nobody to meet them, except now it's being shored up. You can see it's King approaching that position. Close to the corner, jump spot, smokes up. Bit of damage being peppered into him, but the paranoia ripping its way through, giving up the space now to them. Melzer trying to get this plant off. There's a nade. Taco still holding on to it now, and there's a call in the moment. This is Crew. That adaptability, flexibility. That's a triple fight as well, all the way up into heaven, close to the corner though. Prowler, nade at his feet. Counterplay with the util, Horns over the top. They've regained still that control of this. It needs to be an attempt by Lev to try and clear through, and they're winning their fight. Shy, he's been the difference maker in this map, and even in this round, maybe he can win it out for them. Davies, though, on the flank. The distraction is just perfect. Where's the last player left standing? Cutting around the corner, Nana Swarm. No chance of sticking it. King is forced into such a difficult decision. Has to try and stick this one now. Half. Will he be able to get it? It's a wider face, and Davies knows how to play it.
What a ridiculous round from Davies. He spent that entire round waiting outside C for Shy's turret to deactivate. Shy had a turret holding him back from the lurk the entire time. And as soon as Shy took a step a little further out, Davies was running. I mean, he was doing his best Usain Bolt impression to try and just get back to fight this one. Puts an Anaswarm down, was worried that someone would be on it. Ridiculous. Look at the wall slam there. I mean, that is a round that Owner is devastated that they lose.
Because it could be everything. We know how important these pistol rounds are.
That could be the whole season.
That's it. An end much earlier than any team really wants, any player really wants.
And a massive stack here from Leviatán over towards C. Remember how important that was on Pearl to get Lev's comeback started on that map. Crew won the pistol, Lev stacked a sight, and Crew walked into it. This time, Melzer's got the read, and they are pathing in the complete opposite direction. No danger whatsoever here over towards A.
Yeah.
Crew are going to get the freest sight of their life. And I mean, in theory here, Kesnick could take the plant as well and start building up towards the showstopper that they can use. So I don't know whether they'll exactly fill. Yep, there they go for it. So Spike goes over to Kesnick, building up another one of these ult orbs. And now, you know, once you realize that the round should be favored for you, Kesnick can actually go and try and hunt some of these kills too. It's what I'm sure he would like to do, and it builds you up towards the ultimate. He only needs 1 and a death, or 2 and survive.
No Crew, they do love to get aggressive, try and hunt for some of these kills, build up the ults. It could be said for Lev, but now they're grouping up just onto the edge of the spike. Look at Kesnick, he's keen for it.
Yeah, I think
he handed the rifle over to Davies as well, so he wouldn't give it up.
That's so smart. I love that. Just min-maxing the smallest things.
Yeah, doesn't want to give away the weapon, but still wants to try and claim the kills, only his life. Still, gets him 1 step closer to the ultimate.
Yeah, only needs an ult orb. And on this map, the attackers have really their choice. Pick of the litter.
Oh, yeah.
So for Leviatán, I feel like you've got to read into that. You've got to realize that Kesnick's going to be playing for an ult orb somewhere. And picking which one he's likely to go for will really dictate how Lev play the round. Do they want to run a trap play with a Paranoia and a Haunt, perhaps, to try and stop him from taking the C orb? Do they want to push really aggressive with a nade and a C's to stop him from taking the A orb? Or run some other kind of aggressive play over
right
towards
on the
B.
money, honestly.
I mean,
they group up outside C.
Yeah, they've got multiple options, but it's about picking the right side of the map, and it looks like they've done so.
Maybe group up. Already disrespecting, moving across there. There was an anti-flash position played by Taco.
And Crew have immediately called to cancel.
Oh, yeah.
They realize that this is a common trap play that they're going to see, and they want no part of it. Instead, working towards B, looking to try and pick Kesnick up the orb over there.
Same time as this as well. Nax is just disrespecting any hold towards A. Hearing all that util being used, he's happy to just take all that space. I mean, he has looked so deep.
Yeah, and this is massive for them. Crew can either commit to the A push with the showstopper or go back and try and push Mazzino away before they go back to A. And they've decided for the more rapid approach.
Yeah.
With a minute still on the clock, there is no one really hard defending the A site.
Going to get slowed down. My pool's going to be ending at some point, but they do have the Nana Swarm still set up. There it is. That's through. Nobody spotted. Into door, into tree. Giving that space up, and a fast flank occurring from Lev as well. 3 players grouped up.
It looks like they're not even going to use the showstopper. They realize there's no one home.
Need to be careful, though, from behind. These players are going to be trying to fight them back now. Where's the noise? Yeah, it's being made! Showstopper! There's another satchel in play as well to just evacuate and get out of there, but util's being used, and they still need to try and fight over this space. Kesnick is close to the corner. Battle on 2 fronts, out towards the side. The shots are missing. Not quite hitting them. Even with the reset of the movement, it is chaos, and a reposition of Melzer is necessary. Backing away.
As is Davies. They've played this situation really nicely, not fighting too heavily, just repositioning.
Mistake a lot of teams do tend to make as well, and by doing that, you give no options, no openings, and Lev forced again. Tail tucked in between their legs, they back away with what guns they've got, but this is an advantage that is getting away from them on a map where they need to win.
And sure, the time is low, but that's a 3v4. A 3v4 that they decide to save instead of going for it and being confident that they can turn a situation like that around. And they've given Crew the lead. Their economy is not going to be in a great spot. Only 3 rifles that they can really work with. And Owner's called a timeout again.
Oh, yeah.
You saw his emotional reaction to them losing the pistol round as it all slipped away and Davies made the play on the lurk and the flank. Crew are in the lead. And not just the slim lead, they are really starting to power up.
Necessary timeout for Leviatán. Because like you said, Josh, I mean, this is it. It's where you get the ball rolling and more. That's the bonus round converted by Crew. Sky's the limit at this point. You have a flourishing economy. 5K in the bank for multiple players on Crew as well. There's no danger of them running out of weaponry anytime soon. For Lev, they're knocked down to just a weaker buy again. Might be able to scrounge together the rifles, but both the coaches popping off on either side.
There's a lot to talk about here. Both teams are trying to feel out the way that the other is playing. And the rounds from Crew are often being run on audibles. I feel like that's a very dangerous thing for Lev to try to deal with. Lev are a team that likes set plans, protocols. And if Crew get a feel for what the protocols are or where the trap play is, they can try and find those holes. The more they understand how Lev are playing, the better Crew's calling should get. And especially for Melzer, who's played in this system before. A long time ago, admittedly. You know, all the way last year. But still, Lev haven't changed too much in that time period.
Isolate them and kill them.
It's Melzer who's got a fantastic read of the game. His calling has been setting him apart. Battle of the Minds versus like King, but this time Crew with all the guns. Disrespect being showcased as well. They take all of that control onto C9 Nags. Oh, he's at a slight angle, isn't he? Right here, Prowler's broken. Such a wide face still. It's the 1-for-1. Does cause some worries. Everybody watching towards that A main position, knowing that they've lost control of it.
One of the other major differences is that Leviatán are committing 2 players to defending C in situations where Crew just left it to 1. It can weaken the other side of the map, but for now it seems like the correct play.
A 1-for-1 trade. I mean, the defenders are spread thin across the map here. Nade into the back shy. He's got to force himself out wide yet. Tucked close, 77. Help still! No way does he get to! Vulnerable tuck. It's impeccable! Just perfection. Weaving in and out and playing off of one another. Leaves it down to just Melzer. A lot of bullets. Paranoia does miss, but well, they're meeting the firing line. And my God, did Leviatán need that?
The biggest play, just when his team needed it the most. And it's all about evading the nade. That's a nade that's supposed to clear out the entirety of the backside and give the attacking team perfect confidence that they can get into this spot. And Shy evades it, tucks around the corner, and swings out. Exactly as the snake bites come through, and attention is pulled away.
Yeah.
Look what it means to him.
It's brought him back in. It's 9-7, yeah, still the round deficit is there, but I mean, that was a round that they really had no right winning. The weaponry was not good.
And now you give yourself a little bit of a comfort, a safety net in terms of the economy. You know, there's still a couple of people really low, Taco, Shy, but there's a bit here to work with.
That's all to do.
Melzer is very aggressive in this spot compared to how you'd usually see him play, but not rewarded for that.
Free firing on the corners.
So Crew have taken control of the whole of front B and C. But there's a very similar situation occurring where Mazzino is up towards rubble. Do Crew have some kind of plan to deal with this Omen? Push him away. There are lineups you can use here for the snake bites, nanoswarms, trailblazer. But Mazzino can always try to answer with a paranoia and a one-way. The Omen has many tools for this spot. Part of why it's so meta on this map.
Agza's got a lineup. I think there's a snakebite that's going to be landing on top of the pillar. Yeah, Mazzino's already backed away. Not sure where the snakebite ended up landing. Teleport in order. Got to get out of there. Does or the bullets, and meanwhile Davies keeps catching a look in with Melzer himself on top of it, on top of the box. Tackles there, realizes the squeeze is on, and the showstopper is a damage done. Certainly the casualties flying back and forth. Kesner is still active and alive in the fight, but a spike is dropped out wide onto the open side here with 15 seconds left. They realize it's not winnable, got to give it up. And backing away, so
10 seconds left.
Leviatán once more earning themselves a breathing room, an extra lifeline, maybe a chance to drag it back even.
Crew with a clear plan of how they wanted to retake rubble control, and the plan worked. They were able to shove Mazzino away, but in the same time, they tried to overcomplicate things perhaps just a little. And they ran, I believe it was Davies and Melzer. Here they are, trying to run with the spike into B, assuming that the rest of Leviatán would be trying to help Mazzino maintain control over A. So they're thinking in their heads, all right, the defenders are trying to fight over rubble, we'll react into B, we'll be able to get a plant down. But in that kind of spot, King comes up huge.
Another fight to be taken. This is a skirmish. Any sort of util. Horn over the top, Orb to cut up that sight line. Control given up. Just of rubble. Crew happy to take it now and wait it out. Lev realizing that they too favored. Instead just backing up away from all of this. It's a one-way setup. Perfect timing. As the door starts to rotate now. Where's the pivot? Kesnet hunting for a head, hunting for a kill. Not given that sight line for any amount of time. Down to a minute on the clock here for Crew.
And Taco knocked down to, almost about half health. Davies has just been controlling that angle over towards C, and the rest of the team now coming back to return to him. If Nags picks up the orb at front B, he's going to have his pit online. But doesn't want to commit to that.
Here.
40 seconds in a round. Satchel's being used to
there is
pave
not
the
much
way,
time
clear it
here,
out.
Brent.
Yeah, it's getting precarious because, again, still have that util in the back pocket. Not really been doing enough to try and drag it all the way
30
out.
seconds
Yeah,
left.
Leviatán are committing King and Shy to these kind of spots. The two top fraggers for the team are locking down C.
Almost snake bites though, and down to that 20-second mark. Here it is. Do or die. Satchel combined with the flash. Cuts across the angle again. Nade towards the back. They have to take this fight now. And Shy, again, could be the difference maker. Him and King have just been fantastic in these spots. But again, it's Nozwa trying to shore it up. 10 seconds remaining. The plant will go down. Anything tonight is Taco. He has the nade, but already being stuck. Klaus avoiding, dodging, juking the bullets.
These players are low. Kesnik getting healed back up by Klaus may end up being super important. But Taco has to go for a play. Mazzino is so far away, he can't afford to wait for the Omen. Taco's got to make something happen now. And the Trailblazer has timinged it.
Yep.
Shot's still looking
fired,
for
though.
it.
Yeah. Wasn't broken in the end. Taco's there. Flash over the top, not connecting too hard. No play's really falling for it. Mazzino, he's low enough, and there's damage being done, certainly, but time now ticking. The spike putting that pressure. Crew, they find the 10th round.
This team is playing with the clock down to the wire.
Oh, yeah.
We saw many rounds like that come down on split, and almost none of them punished. And this is another version of that. There's 15 seconds left as they try to get into the site. And the whole of Leviatán flooding in to try to deny. And yet Crew end up finding the angles and the trades that they need to get a plant down and win that round in a 3v2. That one may have been the trickiest for the attacking squad, because now as Kesnet's just been farming orbs all around the map, he's about to have another showstopper online.
We know the impact of that.
Can Leviatán stop them from getting in position to execute? I mean, Shy can't use his lockdown here.
He's in a position to spam the wall. Here's the orb being picked up. Just a nanoswarm anyway, just defending his position. Still tucked close into tree. Trailblazer around the back. Now the showstopper orb, but he misses the movement. And King punishes right from the back. Still inside, stunned up Davies. Taking a fight to his adversary with Shy falling now. It should be the side cracks wide open. The pit. Free reign with it. Launched down. Shots just missing. Naxxas still alive, so the pit active once more. But it's Lev who are just really seeking to just lay claim to one section of the map already. They cut it up. Tree control is there, but the pit still remains active and still alive. Where's the util? Postplant's playing away from this one. It's always tricky. Naxxas falls. That is the crux of it. It's left up to Klaus, and I think he's already made noise. They already know where he is, waiting for it, dodging with the flash. Someone needs to tap this, and look at that from Mazzino. gliding across the ground, sets it up for his own team, if not himself.
How have Leviatán won that retake? Into the pit, spamming, being able to find incredibly important kills.
Planted.
They're coordinated. The Seas drops Melzer down to a fraction of his health. And Taco just sprays into the smoke to kill Davies. The coordination with how they put their aggression together is great. But also, crew have got to be kicking themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling it. Passion.
Both of these coaches know the slimmest of margins could well define which of their teams makes it to champions. And there are some rounds where you can't even control really what happens. And I feel like that was one of them. You know, crew don't really do much wrong there, but Leviatán are able to swarm back in and pull things within one round.
Yeah. I mean, the smallest of missteps. Think if the movement doesn't get ajar there when Kesman's satcheling in with the showstopper, if he finds value of it, if he gets a kill early.
Yeah.
King bringing him down might have just been the difference maker, despite the still overwhelming ult advantage. I mean, Lev's retake there was so damn good, and you can feel it. It's on a nice edge, man. I mean, this is for champs, but not just champs as well. You got to think about it. It's the success story of your entire season as a team. Whether you qualify for these international events and actually make a deep run of things, that's what people are going to remember at the end of the day.
Yeah, people very rarely remember who came second place in LCQ.
Oh, silver means nothing in LCQ, man. You don't want to be aiming for that at all.
And so many of these players have experience in this kind of situation. I said last year, crew won the South American LCQ and made it to champions off that. Also, on the other side of things, Noswa has always made it to champs via LCQ. Always. Every year. He doesn't want to see a streak like that end today.
It's more the economy taking a tumble here for crew. Lev really should be set up for this one as it's a pop flash play. They want to disrespect it. Taco from the high ground position. Melzer seeking to punish and capitalize, and he gets out of his life.
No Klaus alive, though, to be able to heal him up. And a 3v3 with guns dropped in places where the crew players have no chance of being able to recover them.
Yeah. Not really a chance of it.
So still favored towards Leviatán. Taco's done enough here.
I can't believe Mazzino here. I mean, this deep push out of A main, and you're up against the half buy.
Yeah, and also the angle that he's fighting on is kind of favored for Stingers.
It's risky, isn't it? Davies is there, though. Only the ghost in his hand to really try and challenge that.
Mazzino is a very confident player, but we've seen him get punished a few times in this series, and he's looking like he's about to be punished.
Melzer, he capitalizes!
Those are the mistakes that are gonna cut you off at the knees.
And what a brutal one. Yeah, you've granted all that space, yeah, but you've handed over the rifle. And now, sightline set, grouped up once more. King has to try and do it. The spray down does not receive two. He's brought down with the trade. Plant. More time being bought into the round, but it leaves it once more to Shy. He has been a difference maker. The numbers he's putting up, nothing short of that spectacular moment, but he just opens himself up. He's not favored for it. And that's a backbreaker, Josh.
That's an enormous error from Leviatán, and Ona has no more timeouts. He was just gifted an opportunity to talk to the team by the fact that crew wanted to take one. Taco gets a 2K there. And it's a great play by Melzer. That one, excellent. Trying to find the timing just as Taco used the nade. But you pointed it out immediately as soon as it happened. It's a massive overstep by Mazzino. When do you ever see an Omen playing in that kind of position either? The jump spot just doesn't... It doesn't clear enough. You just expose yourself. These are the small mistakes that happen when there's everything on the line. And King's popped his Viper's Pit at the very start of this round based off a bit of noise happening over towards Rubble.
Very early.
This is a really heavy A setup right now. Look at the alarm bot here too. You know, even if King has people walk inside of his ultimate, they're not going to be able to get through uncontested. So King can play very safe inside of this and still help over towards B. It's C, where Mazzino is, that's weak. And Mazzino cannot afford to fall here again.
No, he's a lone player to hold back all of it. The onslaught that might just be coming in his direction. Cross mound. Crew are hungry. Drawing them away. It's spam. Bullets raining through the angles. No damage done.
Nobody stayed over towards A. So it's going to be a little more difficult to return in that direction. Davies can pop his lockdown, though, and they'll have access to the B site. It is going to be tough to deal with King inside the pit, though.
All picked up. Klaus.
Big ultimates to work with.
Got it online. They're going to aim to try and fake this. They just handed the spike over to Melzer. He has his ult. 25 seconds left. It's the goal to draw rotations. Damage being done. It's the rifles. Being them down into the angles. A lockdown on top of it. They want to try and maybe into C. There's no time. 15 seconds. Got to get a move on. But it's being watched for. The lockdown will push them back. You have to respect this one, King. Not getting detained. Giving it away. 7 seconds remaining. Has to be the plan. And he will commit to it. Now the ult. Committed to get themselves onto the site. They've granted it, but they don't have any of the extremities. Shy pushed up, locked down into the smoke. Timing is everything, and he's got the knife out. Not enough though. King defends it. The lockdown's still alive, and it just, I mean, it's going to be pushing them all the way and all the way back. King, such a play to make in a moment. Might have just done it. Down and out. Kesnet aims to take the one, but King, my God, man, how much can one leader do?
He's been there as a rock every time Leviatán need him. Pulling his team through with his individual play. Sure, there's been sloppiness in terms of the decision-making and some of the calls at times. But when he's asked to deliver, he's been there to step up. And he trades perfectly here. And this defense of the lockdown, that's really what wins him the round, I think, too. So many ults used in that. Crew are now poor. Only Kesnet close to his showstopper with a hero rifle on himself and Melzer. Is this opportunity to go to champions going to slip away from Crew? They're 2 rounds away, but this one looks difficult. Surely we're set up for an 11-11 game.
You got to think. Mazzino.
Shadows traveling.
Smoke committed there to the front section of B.
Mazzino wants to get
down.
Yeah. I mean, my eyes are now drawn to Kesnet.
Oh. What is that off?
Who knows? Feeling.
Yeah, damage done though, but a heal. Used to bring him back up. Still, not enough to deal with that alarm bot. Now they're going to be walking right into Mazzino. Breaking a Trailblazer is good. Moves a key piece of util. Not going to have that one to clear through. Paranoia on top. Kesnet wants to try and face wider. Here's a showstopper. At work in play. Mazzino out wide in the open.
Caught again on the anti-eco. They can't afford to be playing 4v5s in these kind of spots.
Mistakes like that will cost you. Taco. Stalwart. The defender. Nightfall. This is to try and supplement and help him out again. That supportive ult. Scatters his way across, but it's sidestepped by Crew. They want to set the sights again over towards B. There is util here. Melzer pressing forwards. Alarmbot spots it. Ow, but Shy just didn't know where to aim. They are falling and they are crumbling. This is a round the Crew really shouldn't have won, but now the spike planted. The positioning is good of the players. They have a massive advantage here. And Taco and King, if you fall into your old ways and save, it looks like the decision is made for them. No money in the bank.
And Leviatán in a 2v5 forced to make a terrible decision here. To the jeers of the crowd as Crew get up to match point, to tournament point. 1 round away from champions.
My ult's ready.
And they've managed to do it here on this map by winning 2 thrifties, both of which feature Mazzino being the first, or not first, but a large error. The Crew are able to capitalize on. Caught out playing too aggressively over towards A. Yeah. Not respecting the showstopper enough in this round. Trying to fake the teleport away, hoping Kesnet would fire it off into the distance.
Match point.
Lev need 2 in a row. Here's the play that made all the difference. Kesnet's showstopper and those 2 hero rifles, one on Nagzet.
Precise.
Singing sweetly.
And now, there are no more second chances. There's no breathing room, no buffer at all. Like you said, Josh, it's that 12th round for Crew. It's map point, match point, tournament point.
And look at where they're going. I mean, Crew are set up to go for some kind of A here.
Oh, they're pushing out of B.
There's no one home for Leviatán.
Complete push all the way out. Taco. It's a showstopper offloaded. Shy. He does collect. It's corralled. Davies had nowhere to run for that one, but he's going to be calling that one out, surely. All that pressure was going their way, and Crew not wasting time with this one. Spike. Starting to get planted, but already space being granted to them as well.
And a 4v5 post plan. Who does this favor?
Yeah, Yeah, LEV have surrounded them. They didn't actually give up too much map control here. Pings abound. All comes down to these individual duels. Is Class really going to make a go of this one here with the rifle? Anything to clear into the corner. A nade. Prowler, it expires. At least broken in the middle of it. Satchel. Now on top, time running short. This is it. This is for everything. Klaus, he finds one. Tree fight taken. Melter, not enough damage to really bring them down, but everybody falling. It's left up to King, but he will go down. Crew pulling off the miracle. And that's the usurpers coming for the crown.
The team that started this year 0-10 throughout Lock-In and VCT Americas, 5-0 clean in LCQ. They had no second chances at the start of this tournament. They hadn't earned them. They didn't deserve them. And yet this run has changed the way that everybody is going to look at this team's year. They've redefined, rewritten the history books. Success, it evaded them, every twist and turn, every close map, and there were many of them. But here at LCQ, they've delivered pain upon their LATAM rivals in close fashion. But the region is getting representation here at Champs, and it's Crew to do it. One of the teams that's been to the most international tournaments is going to feature once more.
How much it means to all of them, Josh. I mean, listen, welcome back, Crew, to the international stage. We have missed you. Hell of a run to earn their spot as one of the representatives for Americas and the right to represent LATAM as a region.
When I think about some of the all-time runs that have been fun to watch, first of all, this is going to feature in the history books of Valorant. The 0-9 team from the regular season. 0-10 when you include Lock-In this year, going on a run through LCQ, unheard of. But also, when I think about teams that have gone on runs like that, I do think of Crew at Champions that long time ago. I think of Zeta Division going on their run to third place, who have also made it through LCQ over in the Pacific Division.
Oh yeah.
This team is putting themselves among the names of Zeta, Giants, Na'Vi to escape. The off-season does not call just yet.
No.
You've got a chance at making history, and to be honest, you've already done so right here.
Anything's possible. You get onto the big stage like this. Crew, I mean, the resilience they've showcased as well. Not giving up. They came into LCQ, that reset in the mental, you know, a long break just in all of their play, but man, oh man, pulling this off is something special. And how they set their sights. Not too far away, is it, chaps? Just around the corner. Same place, really.
Yeah, but it'll have a very different feel. And look at the pop-off. This is everything to these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure, even with all the belief they have, they couldn't imagine a better way to get there. Incredible scenes, genuinely incredible stuff.
Respect being shown, of course, on either side. I mean,
they're all good friends.
It's regional rivalry, but yeah, only when it comes to the server.
And it's going to be tough for the Leviatán guys to feel happy for the others, but my God, Leviatán actually looked like a team that was capable of winning this.
Oh yeah.
And that's somewhere that they can build from. They had a disappointing regular season, but they came out here and proved that they had what it took to be able to take down some of the other middle of the pack teams and go on a run. Defeated by a squad that's just been on such a heater.
Yeah.
You can't help but get behind them. Probably the greatest redemption run of all time in Valorant. Revitalizing careers.
Stage certainly looks pretty in pink, doesn't it? How much it means to all of them.
And the fans too, sticking ride or die the entire time, turning up to every match, and they get this.
Keeping the arena electric. Loved it from beginning to end. This LCQ has been more than memorable. Let's send it down to the stage where Smix and Dryad are standing by with our LCQ winners.
Riot Games Arena, make some noise for your Last Chance Qualifier champions. It is Crew! What an incredible moment. Malzer, please step down here. Let's have a chat because what an incredible run from everyone on the team. There's no question that this was such a difficult journey for you and the boys. You started out the season with difficult loss after difficult loss, but here, when it mattered most, here at the Last Chance Qualifier, you had the hardest road, but you took down MIBR, Furia, Cloud9, and now Leviatán back to back. You are the Last Chance Qualifier champion. What does this mean for you?
No hay dudas de que fue un recorrido bastante difícil en la fase regular, perdiendo, yendo 0-9, pero sigues y sales adelante, derrotando a MIBR, derrotando a Furia, derrotando a Cloud9 y ahora Leviatán 2 veces. ¿Qué significa esto para ti?
O sea, es un sueño cumplido. Es solamente, o sea, yo confiaba en que podíamos ganar este Last Chance. Estamos dedicándonos mucho, cada uno de los chicos dedicando horas extra individualmente, dedicando mucha intensidad en los entrenamientos, estamos conectados de mejor manera. Entonces, no quiero sonar como un poco como ego, pero yo sabía que por el esfuerzo que estábamos haciendo íbamos a poder clasificar. Así que solo esfuerzo.
It's a dream come true, and it's something that we as a team, and I knew, I don't want it to come as an egotistical thing, but we knew that we were capable of doing this. Everybody individually was putting that work to make it here and to get that win.
It was such a miraculous dream run, but you have done it. We'll be seeing you at Champs, and I can't help but think this must feel doubly surreal for you going up against Leviatán, the team that you were on before when you were at Champs. How does it feel different this time around walking with these boys?
No, ahora llegas a Champions, pero tiene que ser un sentimiento un poco surreal, porque ahora es el equipo que acabas de derrotar es el Leviatán del que hacías parte. ¿Cómo se siente eso y el ahora estar del lado de Crew?
O sea, me siento feliz obviamente por ganar con mi equipo, o sea, con mi nuevo equipo, pero también a la vez triste porque muchos de los chicos, o sea, todos los chicos son mis amigos, no éramos solamente compañeros de equipo y solo quiero agradecer, o sea, quería llegar a la final con ellos, uno de los dos teníamos que pasar, pero agradecer por todas las enseñanzas que me dejaron en Leviatán y a seguir dándole con mi equipo nuevo.
I'm happy to be able to win with my team, but it's also a sad feeling. On the other side for Leviatán, all of them are my friends, and only one of us could move forward. So I'm still happy to be able to move with my team, with my new team.
Indeed, indeed. And Melzer, it's not just you who had an amazing performance. We also want to speak with Kesnit, the man, the myth, the Deus. Kesnit, the man of Last Chance Qualifier. Dryad, take it away.
Kesnit, the first thing I want to ask you is, you, throughout this Last Chance Qualifier, you talked about having rage and playing with rage, playing with anger to be able to make it all the way till the end. How was that rage playing today? Was it just making it to champs, making sure they were not missing a single champion since you started playing Valorant? Kesnit, a través de todo lo que pudimos ver de ti, estabas hablando de que todas estas partidas las jugabas con rabia, con las ganas, con la motivación que tenías, que se te había quedado encerrado cuando estábamos viendo esa fase regular. ¿Cómo jugaba esa rabia el día de hoy para tomarle la victoria en contra del equipo de Leviatán del que fuiste parte antes y para moverte a ese Champions al que siempre has sido parte desde ese 2021?
Primero que nada, saludarlo a todos. Lo otro, nada, yo seguí confiando en lo que venía haciendo y nada, me venía dando buenos resultados, venía jugando bien en Rankeds, había jugado una buena temporada contra todos los equipos y hoy día contra Leviatán entré un poquito apagado, pero después dije ya voy a sacar todo el último pasito y resultó maravilloso para mí.
It's just been about playing well and playing ranks. He's been playing ranked by himself. He's been stepping up with that individual performance as well. And today, he feels that he felt like he was a little bit down when he started playing, but it was, leaving it all for this match. And my second question for you is, how does it feel to make it to Champions with that core of crew that we've seen since 2021 with Clouds and Naxid still part of the squad and you as well? ¿Qué se siente llegar a ese Champions nuevamente con ese core que ha sido de crew desde que los conocemos con Naxid y con Clouds?
Yo creo que es espectacular. Con los cabros siempre hemos confiado en lo que hemos tenido y nos hemos mantenido siempre unidos. Ahora también tenemos cosas demasiado juntas y yo creo que es fabuloso de nuevo sentir esa sensación que haya jugar un mundial.
It's fabulous. It's spectacular to be able to play with the guys and to have the same things that we had before, but even more that we've been able to build. So it's just a fantastic feeling.
Indeed, we talk about that, Corey. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And we're going to be bringing over Klaus, because Klaus, my man, congratulations. What a phenomenal performance we've seen from you throughout the Last Chance Qualifier. I feel like this must feel so surreal and different. We've seen you at Champs before. Last time around, you were actually the in-game leader, but this time around, Crew have had a very different journey qualifying and becoming the champions here. Tell us what this moment means for you.
Cuéntanos un poco de qué sientes ahora, sabiendo que ya has estado en Champions antes, pero es un sentimiento un poco diferente. Antes eras el IGL de Crew, ahora con una entrada diferente. ¿Y cuáles son tus sentimientos?
No, obviamente muy feliz por lo logrado, o sea, después de terminar una temporada 9-0 y ganar, hacer un lower run así como el que hicimos, fue increíble y lo que más me pone contento es mi performance individual, que es una cara totalmente diferente a la que hice en Américas y siento que quiero seguir así y quiero demostrar lo que en verdaderamente es Klaus.
It's incredible to have that run to go from that regular season of that 0-9 to make it all the way here to have that upper bracket run on this Last Chance Qualifier. But what makes me the happiest is to be able to perform individually, to really show everybody who Klaus is.
You definitely stepped up throughout this Last Chance Qualifier. Congratulations again. And speaking of players from Crew who stepped up as well, Nagzet, let's bring you over to speak with you as well. You've had such impact throughout all the games, especially here at the Last Chance Qualifier. Dryad, I know you had some questions for it.
Primero, bueno, has tenido un montón de impacto en lo que está diciendo. And the question I want to ask you, Naxit, is this whole journey for Crew. You've been with this team in the highs and the lows. And tell me about what it feels to know that you're the best, as everybody was saying for Crew, and to be closing out the match the way that you did against an opponent that you know. ¿Qué se siente para ti poder tomar esta victoria? Tú que has estado en los altos más altos de Crew, en los bajos más bajos, en contra de un oponente también que se conocían también.
Sí, no, la verdad es que si bien no estoy destacando con las estadísticas, estoy con un rol muy pasivo y me toca como apoyar el equipo por la espalda, cuidar la espalda de mi equipo, y estoy orgulloso de hacerlo y saber que mi equipo confía en mí y siempre dar lo mejor por ellos, porque tengo los mejores jugadores del mundo a mi lado, no tengo duda de eso. Y bueno, el rival Leviatán es duro también jugarles contra ellos tanto, porque venimos de la TAM jugando todos los años contra ellos como 5 veces al año, finales todo el rato contra ellos, lo mismo. Una vez nos empezaron a ganar, le empezamos a ganar de nuevo, nos ganaban de vuelta y estábamos así una tras otra. Entonces mucho respeto hacia los cabros y mucho cariño.
Playing on a match like this one against Leviatán specifically, it's difficult. It's a difficult match because we come from LATAM and sometimes they win, sometimes we win, and it was going back and forth with the information that we had. But also myself having a more of a passive role, I'm just happy to support the team, not having the most active role, but being there, being behind, and giving that support that the team needs.
That is such a pivotal role, and you showed it on the server time and time again. Congratulations again. And last but not least, let's get Davies down on the floor to get his thoughts. Davies, congratulations. It's amazing to see you and the boys be able to accomplish this. And for you specifically, this must mean so much. With this victory, this is actually your first time. You're going to be going to Champs for the first time. But also, you are the first Colombian player to be able to do so. That has to feel extra special.
Primero que todo, felicitaciones, y esta victoria para ti debe significar muchísimo. Es la primera vez que vas a llegar a Champions, pero también es la primera vez que vamos a tener un jugador colombiano en ese Champions.
Sí, primer jugador colombiano y primer jugador del año. Creo que también cabe destacar mucho eso, que O sea, desde que empecé siempre supe como mi potencial y también mi objetivo siempre fue como abrir el camino a mi país y a la región, ¿no? Entonces eso, muy feliz, un sueño hecho realidad y ahora el siguiente sueño es ganarlo.
Not only the only Colombian player, but also the only and the first Latin America North player that we've had, and that's been my main point since the beginning, being able to highlight and take that and take my country in the region to move forward. So it's a dream country.
Absolutely, and what a amazing performance. Thank you so much for what you were able to show us and repping Colombia. I'm sure all the fans and family watching you are immensely proud. And last but not least, let's get Coach Adam down here. The man that has been looking so stressed out, as we've been having opportunity time and time again to be able to speak with him between the games, but Coach Adam, congratulations. Finally, you and the boys have done it. When I first spoke to you at the beginning of this Last Chance Qualifier, you talked about how the team needed that reset. After such a difficult season, you got that reset. You took those 20 days off to 31 days of straight practice, then 5 straight matches in a row. You proved that this team is championship caliber. What does it mean that now that you've finally done it?
Desde la primera vez que puedo hablar contigo, tú estabas diciendo que necesitaban ese descanso, después de ese descanso jugar esas 5 partidas consecutivas y poder llegar hasta esta instancia. Cuéntanos un poco qué se siente esto.
Bueno, creo que es una alegría muy grande para todos. Creo que no hay alegría más grande que viene después de estar tristes, de estar dolidos. Este es un grupo de jugadores que está acostumbrado a ganar, a representar a su región, y de un año para otro perderlo todo, no sé, a mí me genera mucha admiración y mucho respeto por ellos, porque como deportistas es muy difícil regresar de eso y mantenerte fuerte, y contra un rival como Leviatán que no regala una ronda. Al final el Lotus ellos sabían de que era nuestro y no nos querían dejar, no nos lo querían dar y no nos lo querían dar, y ahora lo pudimos cerrar, y yo creo que es una felicidad más grande que de cualquier otro equipo que se clasificó normal. Creo que este equipo está en un nivel de plenitud y de confianza en su trabajo que nunca creo que nadie pueda tener.
It's just happiness for everybody, and the main thing is, you know, playing against a Leviatán that even when we were on Lotus, they were not giving you, they were trying to not give you a round. They were holding on to it, even though they knew it was Cruz, and that was the way that it was going to go. It's also a crew team that they know, and they're used to being the best. They're used to qualifying for these events. So from one time to another to lose it all is difficult. So I have a lot of respect for what these players had to face and all the different things that they overcame to make this win. And it's a happiness that can't be described.
Indeed, you and the boys have truly shown a phenomenal, inspirational performance for time to come. For now, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Coach Adam, congratulations to Crew and Riot Games Arena. Give it up one last time for your VCT Last Chance Qualifier champions. It is Crew!
Crew do the impossible and make history in the process. 5 games that they needed to win in order to qualify for Champions Los Angeles, and they did just that. I can't believe it. It's just mind-blowing.
Again, it's off of 10 losses in a row. First round of it locking. Not a single win in the regular season. They were always so close, but it was never quite there. And here in LCQ, they make it the final spot at Champions without dropping a single series. It's got to be like one of the biggest recoveries in Valorant history for Crew.
No, for sure, and it's got to be such a special feeling for those players, man. Going from not getting any wins in the regular season, just completely messing that up, going into the LCQ and not dropping a single series. The most impressive part is they qualified from the upper bracket.
Yeah.
And they had the first 2 games, they were able to just get eliminated flat without a second chance, right? And they took it on the chin. They went through the pressure, went through the adversity, just kept winning, man. So inspirational.
How crazy is it that the closest they got to losing was that Furia game? They were down 11-7 on the 3rd map, and they grinded back and won that map 13-11. And here we are. And they are so deserving of this slot. It is unreal. They've proven to me they can play across 6 maps at a super high level. The calls from Melser were phenomenal all tournament long. obviously the star player in Kesnet putting up huge numbers. I mean, there's Klaus, the step up from him. They just did so many things at an S tier level every single game.
And their adaptability was so impressive. You mentioned Melzer. In this series, the mid-rounding was perfect throughout. He had a great read on Leviatán. For a team that was really just losing every single game, was getting hit on the head repeatedly, they rally so much here. And I think also proved how strong their mental is, that each one of those losses they had, they took something away from that. And they're sitting in a position where they're not just taking things from other teams. We saw them having new ideas, really fast adaptation in the mid-round. It is a crew, I think, that looks better than any other form we've seen them in before. I think this crew is stronger than when they made their run at Champs 21. And I think they are a legitimate contender to make it to playoffs and champions, depending on where they end up.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of the improvement, like Melzer's calling, all the individuals' utility, Kesnet popping off. And I think a big attribution to that is the coaching staff, right? If the entire team is improving on all levels, utility-based, calling-wise, we saw a macro out of crew that we've never seen before. Melzer's mid-rounding this entire event has been phenomenal. So shout out to him for learning how to call some of the greatest I've seen, like the push-pulling, the fakes, the pivots in the mid-round when things get hectic. It was so perfect. And what I'm trying to say here is the coaching staff of crew to take that 0-10 roster into a LCQ champions and possibly, who knows what they're going to do at champs. That's so much credit to them. Yeah. And wow, that was special to watch.
And remember, this is like Adam's first big team. He came up with Davies from the LATAM North seed. No one on the international stage really knew who he was. And I think everyone doubted him, thought that the players who were underperforming on the team would likely be dropped going into the 2024 season after how they performed. But here at LCQ, that narrative has been completely switched around. And talk of that core coming from LATAM North, Davies as well, the only Colombian player in VCT, stepped up so much here. He played so many different agents. He helped them define their style by flexing into this chamber role to give Kesnet more maps on the Rays, and he performed incredibly in every single one of those roles.
Yeah, we talk about the bald buff, but I think it could be the Davies full hair buff, you know what I mean? My guy's got a beautiful mane out there. Maybe that's part of the reason why. I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. I have no idea. All I know is that this team is unbelievable, and they have managed to pull off truly the impossible. And with that, our last chance qualifier bracket is complete. Congratulations, crew. Call your taxi because you're going down the road to Los Angeles here for the champs. But it's so exciting. And look, we were starting this tournament. Go back, if anyone watching at home, go back, watch the VOD of what we were talking about with MIBR and crew in our first pre-match. We were straight up talking about how impossible, how difficult this was going to be to make this kind of a run. And to see that run happen, Valen, as a pro player, that has to feel not only like the most relieving thing, but also like at the start of the tournament, you must look at that journey and be like, oh, damn, that's a lot. How was that from your perspective?
For sure. You look at the bracket ahead of you, you're like, wow, you have to win 2 BO3s at the beginning, which you have no second chance. If you lose that, you're done. And then you get into the playoff bracket, and you still have to complete all these games with possibly multiple BO5s ahead, but...
Day after day, too.
Right. Day after day as well. But I think the biggest thing is that these players understand you just got to take it game by game. If you look too far ahead, you're always going to crumble early. And the fact that they made it this far, I think they got to have some great mental resiliency, because you just had such a long road ahead of you, and you kind of broke it down into round by round. This is what I preach to my team, too. You got to break it down round by round. What's the first gun? What's the second gun? What's our alt play? And I think that's what they did. That's why they're so perfect in the moment. They weren't thinking too far ahead, and
the results speak for themselves. Well, we know that everyone is excited about crew, but there's another thing that we're a little excited about, because today was just a preview of what's to come. Crew Esports joins NRG, Loud, and Evil Geniuses to represent the Americas region on stage at Champions, and they'll face off against the best of the best from EMEA, Pacific, as well as China. And this event proved one thing. It's that in VALORANT Esports, truly anything can happen. But now, it's time for our Champions 2023 group draw. We have VCT Global Competition Manager Victoria Horsley standing by with the selections. Let's see.
Welcome to the VCT Champions Los Angeles Group Stage Draw. 16 teams from around the world have qualified for Champions, and now they'll be drawn into 4 GSL-style groups consisting of 4 teams. Regional seeding for Champs was based on placement performance from teams that went to Masters respective to their other regional teams, with LCQ teams representing the lower regional seeds. Now, here are some rules for the draw. Teams from the same region cannot be placed in the same group. If a team from the same region is drawn into the same group as another team from their region, they will be placed in the next available spot. If they were drawn into the last slot, for example, Group D, Slot 4, they will swap with the team immediately before them until a valid draw is complete. With Fnatic winning Masters and bringing 5 EMEA teams to Champions, there is one exception to this rule, and it applies only to the teams from the EMEA region. EMEA teams in pools 1, 2, and 3 cannot be in the same group. However, when the EMEA LCQ number 2 team, or in this case Navi, is drawn into the same group as another EMEA team, they will remain in that slot. This exception will only be made for Navi. Now, let's get started. In pool 1, we will draw for Group A, Slot 1. We have PRX. Moving to Group 2, or Group B, Slot 1, we will have EG. For Group C, Slot 1, we will have Fnatic. For Group D, Slot 1, the final team of Pool 1, we will have Team Liquid. Now, let's move to Pool 2. For Group A, Slot 2, we will have DRX, but they are already drawn into a group with another Pacific team, so they will move to Group B. Back to Group A, Slot 2, we will have EDG. For Group C, Slot 2, we will have NRG. And finally, for the end of Pool 2, we will have Group D, Slot 2, we will have Foot. This is not a valid placement, so they will be moved all the way back to Group B, Slot 2, and then DRX will be moved to Group D, Slot 2, to avoid any regional matchups in groups. We'll move to Pool 3. For Group A, Slot 3, we will have Giants. Group B, Slot 3, we will have T1. Group C, Slot 3, we will have BLG. And the final team for Pool 3 in Group D, Slot 3, we will have Loud. Now, for the final pool of the Champions Group Stage draw, Pool 4. Reminder that Navi can be drawn into another group with an EMEA team in it. For Group A, Slot 4, we have Zeta, but this is not valid, so they will be moved to the next valid slot, which will be Group C, Slot 4. So redrawing Group A, Slot 4, we will have FPX, where another China team resides, so we will move them to Group B, which is the next valid slot for FPX. Redrawing Group A, Slot 4, we will have the newly crowned winners of the Americas LCQ. And finally, the last team of the Champions Group Stage draw, in Group D, Slot 4, we will have Navi. VCT Champions Los Angeles will begin August 6th, so good luck to all of the competitors. We hope to see you there.
And there you have it. The group draw is complete. And hopefully we can bring that up in a little bit so that we can talk about it, because I'm not going to lie to you, don't know how Victoria did that in one take. Impressive. In any case, though, here it is. All right. So, yeah, this lays out where we are right now. Group A, PaperX, Crew, EDG, and Giants. Group B, you got EG, FPX, Foot, as well as T1. Group C, Fnatic, Zeta Division, Energy, and Billy Gaming, BLG. And then we got Group D, Team Liquid, Navi, DRX, and Loud.
Group of death.
DRX Loud.
Yeah, so Group D is Group of Death.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's brutal, man.
Everyone's dying in this group. Yeah, this is
You have
nutty.
the winner of Americas from the split. You have the winner of Pacific. You have TL, who is the winner of EMEA as well, and the Navi, who's Navi.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they did. They qualified obviously because Fnatic winning out in Tokyo got the EMEA region 5 spots for champions, which is massive for them. So I guess the question is whether
but
or
I mean,
not.
the thing is, even though Navi's been struggling, that's a team that like
Still
will
Navi.
always, anytime you think they're dead, they always
Yes.
find that upset. So that group's going to be crazy. But there's some other interesting matchups here as well. That Group B, I think, could be cool. You have EG in there. Looks like a pretty good path for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potential EDG PRX matchup.
That actually would be.
I'm excited for Group C. NRG Fnatic in the groups.
That's actually pretty fire too.
After the
rematch
first matchup.
Yeah. You know, honestly, Group C kind of feels a little bit like a group of death as well because you're in there with the blender, Fnatic. So, you know, that's going to be really tough to have to deal with.
Fnatic is the group of death.
Exactly, exactly. So this is certainly going to change things up a little bit. And then obviously, you know, my eyes immediately get drawn to the runners-up at Tokyo, you know, EG, FPX, Foot, as well as T1. Actually not the worst draw for honestly, EG or T1 here. And I'm curious to see what Foot does because they look good at Tokyo. It's just a matter of whether or not they were able to clean up those things leading into champions. And an FPX, unknown commodity for myself personally, so I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, it'll be FPX's second shot internationally after making it to lock-in. But for the only team that it will be their first international event is Billy in Group C there. You have Zeta, who also, after having a really tough year, makes it through the LCQ too. So I think NRG Fnatic, the clear favorites in that group, could be interesting with those 2 Asian squads coming in as well. Overall, man, I mean,
This
I'm
looks
just
good.
excited for this event.
Excited.
So stacked.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. You honestly couldn't have asked for a better a group of teams that to be collected here for Champs LA. And really, I think if Tokyo is any indication, heck, if this LCQ is any indication, that you look at this and we could honestly have a final that's BLG and Foot. At this point, that's kind of where the
you never know.
We never know, man.
It's a really similar group that EG had in Tokyo, right? Who was in their group? It was Foot. Was it T1?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
this
actually,
group is
That
super
sounds
similar
right.
to their Tokyo group.
Oh, well, hate to see that one.
You know,
We're gonna
the
run it
one
back.
thing I think this is the first time we've ever had an international event where NRG and Loud have avoided each other in the group stage.
True.
So great work on the draw.
We did it.
We finally did it.
We
guys.
heckin' did it. We heckin' did it.
Did you see how I think PRX and DRX were supposed to be in Group A together, but there's like a rule that they couldn't be.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would
It's
have been
gonna happen
crazy
again.
if they were. If that rule wasn't in place, man.
Yeah, everyone in the Pacific region, Achilleos breathed a sigh of relief watching that on bated breath. But oh man, what an incredible run this has been, guys. I want to thank you all so much. You guys were incredible throughout the entirety of the event. Always a pleasure to work with you all. Of course, shout out to Brendan Sideshow, our entire talent team, everyone who brought it, and of course, I want to give a massive thank you to the people that are behind the camera there, the crew that makes this show happen, the crew that's over there that makes this show happen, our jib operators, everyone over there. Without them, this show does not happen. So thank you guys so much for everything that you do, and we are very appreciative of you guys. And that's basically going to do it for us here at the Riot Games Arena. That's it. The next time you're going to see us is over at the Shrine for Champions, and it's going to be awesome, and we hope that you join us for it. We hope that you are as excited for this event as we are. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon at Champions 2023. But for now, we'll leave you with your Prime Gaming post-day highlights, and we'll see you soon.
Crew's gonna have a long Uber over.
Yeah, it's going to be a long ride. 25 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy.
The stakes couldn't be higher. You got 7 teams that are vying for the last spot at Champions LA, and you've got to win it all or your year is done.
It's just single elimination. You play a game, you win, your season continues for a bit longer, and if not, it's just over and you're headed home.
As Chosen finally opens up the site for a bit. The showstopper out. Klaus also
Spike that down.
The plant coming down, and that's a 4-game ace for Klaus.
A team like Crew, who are on the precipice of winning so many games this past season, they could actually be at that level now to take those wins that they couldn't find before.
There's that flash to peek right back out. The trades are good. for both of the teams, now finally in favor of MIBR.
Only 5 seconds left. Flooding now inside the side. GZZ with 4 kills, looking for the ace. Just around the corner, and he's gonna land it.
We gave them noise-canceling headphones to make their bracket. Take it away, boys. Nothing can go wrong.
I love hoodies. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Hoodie hold.
Yes, yes.
100.
100.
The shield! Still like that for the Red Bull clutch!
Crew knocking out MIBR.
Sentinels go. Sentinels. What?
Kind of want to see what's been going on with the rest of the squads. Let's check in, see what they've been doing over the break, right?
And that's a rotate back. Oh! Is there! The fourth to come in!
They actually stopped by the zoo to free the big cats. Nothing can go wrong, obviously.
But Kesnet, the last man standing solo, catches Benzine off guard, does have 10 bullets left in the chamber of the Phantom. Paint shells on the ground, right at the feet of DGZ. Us crew claim another victim! And they move forward in the LCQ gauntlet!
Guys, let's just be honest here. There's a good chance you're probably hearing me on a co-stream right now. So I just want to say, hello, Tarek and Kaide. Hope you guys are doing really well. In any case, so today marks...
What? So aggressive with no one to trade. There's the collapse. What?
Guys, you're at the beach. Smile, you know?
Yeah, they're having no fun at all.
Something must be going around. Tens is just trying to slam them as well as they're trying to take control of it. Knives still hitting. The refresh is there. Into the pit with the right clicky faces. All of them. And Sentinels are moving forwards.
What a big win to try and generate some momentum here in LCQ.
Mimi and Bren, you guys, what's going on here? You're extras in the Fast and Furious 3.
Fantastic help from Leaf there, joining in with the rest of them. But wall goes up right now. They're isolating fights. What? Big Connor goes huge.
Guys, we're here to talk about the LCQ, not Sen. There's more teams.
Oh.
Time is so short, they can just spam their way through this.
One enemy remaining.
Saucy Shirley, he can't.
Oh my God, no.
There's no way, right? There's no way.
Let's go! Yo, look at me! Let's go! Let's go!
Patience pays off for Cloud9, for Jake, as they take down Sentinels 2-1.
Well, I guess we'll do the real show then, shall we?
Yep.
The first swing out does not connect. The other one does. Opportunity to refresh and reload, but then it swings!
Like no
And Crew continue to right their wrong as they move forward in the LCQ and will meet Cloud9 in the upper finals.
This is what believing in Leviatán does to a dude.
Oh. What happened to you?
Today, our final 4 becomes a final 3, and one team is moving on to the grand final.
Doesn't have any mobility, really. He has to wait it out. As soon as he looks down for the Cloudburst, he gets swung on. Pit in, Leaf down.
We have to constantly ask ourselves the question, how did this happen? How did we get here?
They're gonna dash again. There's the flash, same thing.
So aggressive!
What is that?
Looking for the fourth to put him away, and he does.
You've got to be kidding me, man. I can't do this segment with you anymore. Listen, you could be my lover, but I don't want you to be my breakdown buddy. I'll take the hug. I appreciate that.
The alarm bot gonna give his position away. The double face! Crew keep their glass slipper and take down Cloud9.
That's crew. I do believe in crew.
Sen just struggling to deal with it. Oh, yeah. Flawless.
It's time for Baby Bay Watch.
I mean, this looks like if the Monopoly man was in a circus, right?
Down, drive around to the side. Good movement from King. Wow. Claiming 2. Will he get the 3rd? Yes, he will. The series is done, and Sentinels are out of LCQ.
All right, let's do this.
Cloud9 versus Leviatán. They find themselves in the lower bracket final and fighting for that last spot.
Shy tried cleaning him up. Jake's got 3.
One enemy remaining.
He's got the pit.
Whoa.
Can he play around it? He's going in aggressive with the Seekers, and Jake gets 4.
Hold up, what is the location? Is this in the bathroom?
Leviatán have just destroyed Cloud9. One map to decide it all, as Leviatán take us to map 5.
This is a special game that we like to call What Are the Chances?
And I think there's a 50% chance that King might be my brother.
Rooney taking a little bit of damage. Mizzino's gonna push it. Mizzino's gonna push it! They've done it! They've freaking done it! It's a miracle in Santa Monica as Leviatán take down Cloud9!
In a reverse sweep. Only the second time in the main VCT circuit. What if
Crew went on a run?
Wow.
What if Crew went on a run?
It's not going to happen, right?
Do you have Crew Esports, a team that is on one of the greatest runs that we have seen, and then you have a confident, hungry Leviatán that is ready to quell the fire that Crew have lit up here. And this is the stuff that we all want to see in this sport.
Playing a rolling retreat.
Crossfire setup. Together, it's ramp with him and King. Knows what can you do the most here? Well, it's all King, seemingly. It's 3 on the board. Dodges the flash. Magnificent. Has the spike sticking it down here. Melzer, does he choose to take the time with it? It's planted. Damage done. Only 78. Hopping around the corner with the right clicks. Crew winning map number 1 here. Dodging to the side. Players are dropping like flies. King, half of the defuse, backing away. Lands it when it mattered most. Davies in main. He's going to do so much more, but there's a wall in his face. It is the last one left. That's the map. It's secured. It's locked up. 4 in a round for Mazzino. Massively giving up control of mid damage. Right through the wall as well. The wall back kill. Taco's fallen.
He's 1 HP. Swinging.
1 HP. Kisnet. Davies is left wondering where is the opposition. Shy. Still healthy. Low enough. There's the shot that lands with Klaus. Just sublime. You get to the second half of Ascent. They were completely in control. Judge in his hands, but fully blinded up. Boom Bonds there. And there's certainly damage done. But Davies, what a response, man. No way. Just ridiculous. No plays really falling for it. Mazzino, he's low enough and there's damage being done certainly, but time now ticking. Crew, they find the 10th round. Crew pulling off the miracle, and that's the Usurpers coming for the crown.
The team that started this year 0-10 throughout Lock-In and VCT Americas. 5-0 clean in LCQ. They had no second chances at the start of this tournament, and yet this run has changed the way that everybody is going to look at this team's year.